Nicola Peltz gets $1 million a month from her dad. I feel like we just need to talk about that for a second because $1 million a month is crazy.
Brooklyn Beckham didn't just drift away from his famous family, he stepped straight into a whole new world. A world dripping in billionaire luxury, hidden getaways, 5-figure bottles of wine, and a lifestyle so lavish it makes the Beckham empire look modest. And right at the center of this glossy new universe, Nicola Peltz, the woman everyone's talking about. While the public can't stop gossiping about teary statements, wedding drama, and that icy silence between the families, the real storm brewing beneath it all isn't just emotional. It's about something way deeper: power, wealth, and who's really calling the shots. Nicola Peltz was born into money that doesn't just sparkle, it dominates. Her father, Nelson Peltz, isn't your average rich dad. He's a billionaire investor with a fortune built from corporate power plays and decades of behind-closed-doors influence. This isn't flashy celebrity wealth. This is that old-school, jet-on-standby, boardroom boss kind of money. Since marrying Nicola, Brooklyn's life has shifted gears big time. He's now living inside that billionaire bubble, where everything runs on money, connections, and control. Recently, online reports have gone wild with claims that Nicola pockets a jaw-dropping $1 million monthly allowance from her father. People close to the Peltz family are denying the exact number. But one thing's clear: Nicola's got access to serious cash, total freedom, and a lifestyle that's out of reach even for most A-listers. Just look at the proof! Brooklyn and Nicola were spotted at one of California's most secretive luxury resorts, a playground for royalty, Hollywood icons, and political heavyweights. Every move they make screams exclusive, and it's no wonder everyone's asking, has Brooklyn traded family loyalty for billionaire luxury? During that lavish getaway, Brooklyn dropped photos that sent social media into total meltdown. On the table sat an ultra-rare bottle of wine, one worth tens of thousands of dollars, the kind most people only ever read about. This wasn't just a casual post, it was a loud message wrapped in luxury. Brooklyn and Nicola looked calm, in love, and completely carefree, sipping one of the world's priciest wines like it was nothing. They strolled through perfectly manicured gardens, posting dreamy shots of peace and privilege, everything looking so perfectly curated it could have been a magazine spread. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, David and Victoria Beckham were making their own quiet statement, showing unity, focus, and that signature Beckham poise. That contrast, it speaks volumes. Because the truth is, the Beckhams didn't build their fortune through luck. They hustled for it. David and Victoria earned their hundreds of millions through non-stop work, smart branding, fashion empires, and global influence. Their money shines in the spotlight, polished, public, and calculated down to the last detail. But the Peltz fortune? That's a different beast altogether. It's quieter, more powerful, and completely untouched by the need for public approval. It's old money that doesn't need to shout to prove its worth. And that's exactly why this clash between the two families feels so explosive. For years, David and Victoria stood by one major rule when raising their kids: independence isn't handed out, it's earned. Brooklyn was given love and support, sure, but never endless cash. The plan was always for him to carve his own path, build his own empire, and step out from under the Beckham spotlight. Nicola's world runs on a completely different rhythm. In the Peltz family, wealth isn't just for spending, it's built to protect and empower every generation. She grew up surrounded by private jets, mega yachts, and wardrobes stacked with designer labels, not as special treats, but as her normal. 5-star vacations weren't a luxury, they were just another week in the calendar. Since tying the knot with her, Brooklyn's reality has taken a massive turn. The couple now lives in a jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills mansion, where luxury is just the baseline. They hop between super yachts and global hotspots like it's nothing, never pausing to check a price tag. Nicola's often spotted carrying handbags that cost more than a sports car, so it's not a dream life, it's a different dimension. And it's right here that things reportedly start heating up behind the scenes. Rumors are swirling that Victoria Beckham might be sitting on a stash of text messages that could expose what she believes is the real Nicola. These alleged messages are said to link back to all the drama surrounding the wedding, the mysterious dress dispute, the tension-filled planning process, and the deepening divide between Brooklyn and his famous family. Sources close to the situation claim Victoria hasn't shared any of it, not because she can't, but because she still hopes her son finds his way back. That tiny detail says everything. Because while Brooklyn has spoken publicly about his frustrations, David and Victoria have stayed completely silent. No interviews, no cryptic posts, no public clapbacks. But don't mistake that silence for weakness. In this kind of power game, quiet can be the loudest move of all. That silence isn't weakness, it's restraint. But behind the calm exterior, insiders say something much deeper is happening in private. Those close to the Beckhams whisper that there's a growing desire to bring Brooklyn back home, though not under any conditions that compromise their values. Behind closed doors, David and Victoria are said to be heartbroken, torn, and deeply worried about how quickly their son's entire world has flipped upside down. Sources claim they still believe a reunion could happen, but only if Nicola's no longer part of the picture, and that's where the real fracture begins. Brooklyn reportedly sees Nicola as his anchor, the one person who's given him peace after years of anxiety and public pressure. In his own words, walking away from his family wasn't rebellion, it was relief. To him, Nicola isn't controlling, she's saving him from the noise. But from the Beckham side, it looks completely different. They see a son now wrapped in a life that's nearly untouchable, emotionally, financially, and socially. He's living within a fortress of wealth that makes the Beckham empire look small by comparison, and that power shift stings. The balance has changed, and not in their favor.
I mean, literally this weekend, they spent something crazy like £17,000 on a wine. So they're obviously spending some money on that stuff, but $1 million a month is wild.
Meanwhile, Brooklyn and Nicola are out there showing the world a different story. Their feeds are full of sun-soaked photos, luxury settings, and displays of affection that feel both dreamy and defiant. Every post screams one message: we're happy, we're solid, and we don't need anyone's approval. But beneath those perfect images, one question refuses to fade. Is this story really about love and independence, or is there something much bigger hiding underneath? Or could it be that Brooklyn is slowly fading into a world where money makes reconciliation unnecessary? If the Beckhams truly believe Nicola is the spark that tore the family apart, how long can Victoria hold back those rumored messages before everything blows up even more? What makes this whole saga so explosive is how money quietly flips the power balance. It changes everything. Brooklyn Beckham isn't the kid who needs to please anyone anymore. He's stepped into a world where his future is locked in, his comfort guaranteed, and every financial worry erased for life. That kind of security changes the tone behind every private talk, every family phone call, every teary attempt to reconnect. When whispers spread online about Nicola's supposed $1 million monthly allowance, it didn't just shock fans, it shook both families to the core. People close to the Peltz side tried to downplay the exact figure, but honestly, the number wasn't even the point. The symbolism hit harder. It sent one crystal clear message: Nicola doesn't depend on Brooklyn, and Brooklyn doesn't depend on the Beckhams anymore. That shift is huge. For years, David and Victoria were the sun their family revolved around, the center of all money, fame, and opportunity. Every door opened because of their names, their image, their legacy. But now, Brooklyn stands outside that orbit, shielded by a fortune older and stronger than celebrity itself. He's no longer chasing the Beckham spotlight. He's living in a world that doesn't need it, a world where approval isn't earned, it's inherited. And that reality might be the most painful twist of all. And here's where insiders say the real fracture lives. Because while Brooklyn calls his move an act of emotional freedom, people close to the Beckhams reportedly see something completely different, a kind of detachment born from luxury and insulation. When you're living in a world where consequences barely exist, reconciliation starts to feel optional. When your lifestyle never takes a hit, you don't have to rebuild bridges. You can just move on. Those recent shots of Brooklyn and Nicola sipping ultra-rare wine at an exclusive hidden resort only added fuel to that perception. While the Beckhams were in Paris, standing together at high-profile cultural events and showing a front of unity, Brooklyn and Nicola were sending the opposite signal. No hiding, no hesitation, just calm defiance. Every photo screamed, "We're unbothered, we're good, and nothing can touch us." It wasn't random. It all looked crafted. Each post, each caption, even the music behind their clips seemed to whisper the same message: we're thriving. And that's exactly where Victoria Beckham's silence starts to feel calculated, not passive. According to sources close to her, Victoria believes she knows the exact moment when everything changed and who pulled the strings. She reportedly suspects Nicola played a key role in pushing Brooklyn to step away publicly to control the story before anyone else could twist it. And then there are those rumored text messages Victoria is said to be holding, messages that could supposedly show a side of Nicola the public hasn't seen. Yet despite everything, Victoria's kept them under wraps. No leaks, no exposés, just silence. And in this kind of high-stakes family war, silence might be the sharpest weapon of all. Not yet. And that single decision says everything. Because despite all the accusations, the headlines, and the quiet humiliation, David and Victoria are still moving like parents first, not celebrities. Insiders say they believe once certain lines are crossed in public, there's no going back. The damage becomes permanent. And if those rumored messages ever got out, the bridge between them and Brooklyn might burn for good. But make no mistake, the Beckhams haven't softened on the one boundary that's tearing everything apart. Sources close to the family claim they'd open their doors to Brooklyn in a heartbeat, but only if Nicola isn't standing next to him. They reportedly see her as the one immovable block between their son and a full reunion. That condition alone shows just how deep the mistrust has sunk. Brooklyn, on the other hand, couldn't be clearer about where he stands. He's chosen Nicola, emotionally, publicly, and even professionally. His loyalty isn't up for debate anymore. And now, whispers are getting louder that Brooklyn might be gearing up to tell his side of the story, not through interviews or posts, but in a major book deal. The rumored project would dive into his upbringing, his battles with anxiety, and his choice to walk away from the Beckham legacy entirely. If that deal becomes real, it would flip the script in a huge way. This wouldn't just be gossip, it'd be permanent history. A book locks one version of events forever, forcing everyone else to play defense, and that's exactly what terrifies the Beckhams most. Meanwhile, Brooklyn's career moves keep everyone guessing. Over the years, he's dipped his toes into photography, cooking, publishing, and endless brand collabs, all built under the glow of the Beckham name. But now people are wondering, is he finally trying to step out from that shadow or just rewriting his role in the family empire? Since marrying Nicola, Brooklyn's whole identity has taken a sharp turn. He's not chasing independence within his parents' world anymore. He's living comfortably inside hers. And that difference matters way more than people think. In the Beckham household, success is something you build, refined, tested, and earned under the weight of the spotlight. But in the Peltz universe, success is guarded, bankrolled, and protected from failure. There's no rush, no grind, no pressure to prove anything. And that calm, cushioned comfort might be exactly what's making David and Victoria feel like they're losing their son. Not to rebellion, but to luxury. Nicola's world doesn't shout, it shows. Her lifestyle speaks louder than any interview or statement could. The endless designer outfits, private jets, multi-million-dollar homes, and ultra-exclusive vacations tell the story all on their own. Even when insiders try to shut down rumors or correct wild figures, the image stays the same. This isn't a couple cutting back or laying low. This is a couple leaning into their luxury and leaning away from the Beckham circle entirely. Every choice they make feels deliberate, and every photo feels like a quiet message. We're fine without you. And that's what makes this feud so fascinating. It's not just the gossip, it's the imbalance. Two dynasties built in totally different worlds, one powered by hustle, the other protected by generational wealth. And right in the middle is a son who's now firmly planted on one side. David and Victoria still believe time might heal it. That distance will cool the anger, that Brooklyn will start to miss his siblings, that one day he'll want home again. But with every sun-drenched post, every luxury trip, every "we're at peace" caption, that hope feels thinner. Because reconciliation usually takes discomfort. And right now, Brooklyn looks way too comfortable. Right now, Brooklyn Beckham looks very comfortable. Maybe too comfortable. But the real question hanging in the air is this: is his peace permanent or just the calm before something even bigger blows up? Because as long as Victoria still holds on to those rumored messages, and as long as Brooklyn keeps defining his freedom through distance, this saga is nowhere near finished. If it all erupts again, and it feels like it might, it won't be about wedding drama or fancy parties anymore. It'll come down to something far deeper: power, control, and who truly lost their son to a world they'll never be able to match. This story's got layers, emotions, and luxury all tangled together. And trust me, it's not done yet. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts below. Whose side do you believe?